God, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So I'm
Good.
really glad to be back on another week of killing pips, Kill Shot Weekly, Kill
Definitely.
Shot Weekly session. Who else?
Yeah.
Anthony,
Yeah.
hey, Anthony, how you doing?
And how's life?
Not complain, man. Cannot complain. Nobody cares about my problems, so life is good. Life is good.
Listen,
Harvey,
I'm gonna have to be in and out today. I can't hang about on this one too long.
all right. So you've got something to share with us as well, though, right?
Yeah, as you know, today is Valentine's Day, and I'm
Well,
kind
it's
of
Okay.
what,
You looking
Maurice?
dapper. Hey.
Maurice is going in, love that, bro. Love
yeah, man.
that. Love that. Look at that. So, and you've done this because just to be in your house with your darling wife, right?
This is it, my brother.
My man's making an effort,
Woo! Celebrating my queen.
Listen,
Sure.
take that off. You're making the rest of us look silly, man. What's wrong with you? You're making the rest of us look like we're not doing our job properly.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well, listen, don't let me have to tell you how to treat your queen. You got to know these things.
True word.
Easy.
Good job,
Yes.
bro. Really good job. Really good job. Really good job. Okay, so listen. So how long have you got? I know you wanted to go through your trade, Maurice.
Yeah.
Would it help you if we switch the things around because we're going to do some backtesting topic. Usually we put the topic first.
Mm-hmm.
Would it help you if we went straight into the trade, or have you got half an hour? Because we probably won't be longer than half an hour tonight.
Yeah, let me do my trade. No, I can play it by ear. See how long I've got.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Anthony, you're sharing your screen, bro. This is cool.
Yeah, why not, man? You got something you want to declare, Anthony?
You're on mute.
Can't hear you.
You're on mute.
Playing around with the
All right.
background.
You know what? It's really strange. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop Anthony's share. Guys, I hope you are good. 1 second. Let me just. Okay, cool. Just welcome to everybody else that I have not said hello to. Sandra, welcome. Ojitule, welcome. Harvey, Mel, welcome again to the call. What we'll do the back testing, the topic second, and so that Maurice can have his time with his lovely wife. Then we'll hand over to Maurice straight away so you can do your trade idea, and then we'll switch to back testing after that.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. Well, evening to everyone. I'm glad to see that you've taken some time out here to just upskill in our trading and our analysis. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to show you a trade that I was looking at early on in the week, and it's a trade that I took with not the usual amount of analysis that I would normally put into a trade, but nevertheless, it was sufficient for me to get into a trade and to be profitable in it. So essentially, what I was looking at is the euro dollar. Now, as you can see, first thing off, I was looking at the 4 hours. So it's essentially a top-down analysis. And what we can see straight off the bat, is that there was a strong push down, which you can see here, from this area here, there's a strong push down. And then we've got a strong push up. So the current move is very bullish. Yeah, we can see that currently the move that we've got is pretty bullish. So I'm looking at taking long trades on this. There might be potential to take some short trades, but at the moment I was only looking at taking long trades. So that was my analysis. I also noted that there's some liquidity sitting above here. Okay, so this is probably the area where price is looking to get up to after we see this retracement here. We see a bit of a retracement here. Okay, so that's my 4 hour analysis. I dropped down to the hour. Right, so now I've got roughly an idea of what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking for long trades, and I'm looking for areas and reasons why I want to take a long trade. Okay, so one of the first things that I saw was this area here. I'll just show you here. Let's see. Yeah, no need for that. Is this area here? Okay, can you see this red line? Okay, so what I noticed that for a few hours that price was just bobbing up and down here. It was just creating a bit of liquidity. It wasn't really breaking out. We saw this massive break up to the upside, then prices kind of bobbed around here for a little bit. So I looked at that and I thought, okay, I'm kind of interested in that. I want to know what price is going to do after that. So that was on my 1 hour analysis. So dropping down the time frames, okay, you can see it much, much better. Exactly what I was looking at, right? And exactly what I expected to see. We saw here for a number of hours that price really just you know, zigzagged. It was just going sideways for a while, okay? And you notice the size of the candles. They're they're small, right? In comparison to these big candles here. So essentially there's very few players in the market here. And this is where the banks and the institutions are just waiting for the opportune moment to take out some of these orders. And you know that the banks have joined into the game where you see this massive green candle push down, push past this area of liquidity, taking out anyone that had their stop losses in this area. So that was something which we know is typical. It's a trademark move. And on the flip side of the coin, we see this massive push up, this blue candle here, take out anyone who was sitting above the trade area. Okay, so those are the, you know, like the classic moves that we come to know and love. Right? All right, we see, you know, this area here, all right, is taken out by this blue candle, and this area here is taken out by this green candle here. So everyone that's got stop losses in those areas got wiped out of the trade. So that's fine. That's all well and good. And I'm happy. So I continue with my analysis. Next thing I wanted to look at, well, okay, where is price going to look to come back to? Now, this was the area of interest for me, right? Is the gap between this candle here, yeah,
Exactly right.
and, or the wick, should I say here, and the wick here, all right? We notice that price hasn't visited in this yellow area here that I've zoned off. So this is the area that I'm interested in getting into a sale, getting into a trade, yeah, a buy scenario. So as we can see, price, essentially, it did its thing and it zoomed off on its merry way. Right, this is the 30-minute time frame, by the way, and it just went up and up and up. I wasn't paying too much attention to this particular pair because I was doing, you know, my own thing, my studies, etc. All I did at this point was to set an alert so that I'd be aware when price came in and around my yellow area of interest. You see here that price did, in fact, after how much time? This was what, on the 9th of Feb, price came roughly into my area around about, you know, 3 days later. All right, so my alert went off. So I immediately started to drop down the time frame to look for a more precise entry. So that's the 30-minute. Drop down to the 5-minute. And what we see here, yeah, is that price essentially got into my area of interest in and around this area here. All right. Now, because I hadn't set a pending order at all, I was doing purely market execution. So price dropped, it dropped out of my area of interest, broke through again, dropped down, and it's hovering in my area of interest. So I decided to because I was doing a market execution, price just broke out of my area of interest before I actually got into the sale. So I got into the sale slightly late, so then I wanted to, but essentially everything indicated that this sale was pretty much the area where I wanted to take it, and I took the trade. And the trade went into my direction. It went into profit pretty much instantaneously, and it's still an open trade at the moment. I don't normally hold trades over the weekend, but because you know, this activated on a Friday and price had shot up, almost hit my TP area, not quite. It had retraced, which is, you know, to be expected. And I expected probably to drop down a little bit more, it might want to probably take some of this liquidity here. So it may drop and take this liquidity here before shooting up to my TP. But essentially, I'm happy with this particular trade. It did activate in my area of interest in this area. It shot off. It almost hit my TP, but it's retracing. It probably will retrace. You know, it might gap, come and take some liquidity here on this 5-minute time frame, and then continue in the upper direction. Yeah, and that was one of the trades that I was looking at today, this week. As I said, I wasn't taking that many because I was studying and I was looking at some other strategies, but this one caught my eye and I thought, okay, let me have a go and take a trade on this one. And yeah, thankfully it worked out. But what I did, I made sure that I had my confirmations, no matter what trade I'm looking at, whether I'm going to jump into it or I've done my complete analysis, it's got to hit my criteria. You know, I've got to see that there's a reason for taking the trade. There's an area of interest, and there's got to be an area where price is likely to go to. Once I had those confirmations, then for me, getting into the trade was a no-brainer. And as you can see, my TP is at this area here. I expect price to go and in this kind of area here, I expect price to essentially finish off round about here, somewhere in here. And then after that, it may go up, retest and shoot up higher, or it may drop, retest and pull back down. Who knows? No one knows. I'm just going to track this on Monday and see what happens. But yeah, that was my trade.
Maurice, thank you very much, bro. Much appreciated. I love what you're doing. And that is a really clean trade. A very, you know, you always love those trades when you can get into one with almost no drawdown. And, you know, I strongly believe there are two things that we really need to look at when we're trading. Number one is preservation of capital. I think this is like the #1 rule of trading, keep what you've got. Number two is risk management. You know, what are we getting for our risk to reward? And of course, if you can get into a trade like that where there's actually almost no risk or very small risk, then of course you've done really well. So congrats on that, bro. Really nice trade and well explained.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was interesting with that particular trade because even if I went down to the 1 minute, I think my entry would have been more precise. But you know, it is what it is. You know, my area of interest was the right kind of, you know, in terms of pips, the right kind of size. The stop loss, if I remember rightly, let's see. I'm gonna just double check it now. The stop loss, yeah, not even 10 pips, yeah, 9.4 pips.
So you're already 5 to 1, right? You're already 5 to 1 or so on your trade?
Yeah, that was just over 4 to 1 on that particular one.
Listen, you take those all day, you take that all day long. I know you, and your take profit that you've got there at the top, is that the only take profit, or do you have more take profits above?
No, that's my initial take profit. If price continues in the direction I think, then I will set another TP, but that's my initial, that's my TP1.
Love it, bro. Love it. Clean charting, lovely 30-minute area. Out of interest, does that mean 30-minute area of interest, or does it mean 30 pips? More like 30-minute, right, on 30-minute chart, right? Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, no, on a 30-minute chart, yeah.
That's right, 30-minute chart. No, really good stuff, bro. Looks clean, looks great, and well shared, well done. Thank you very much. Before you go, I'll just see if there's anybody else who has got a trade that they're looking at for this week, and then we'll flip it back on its head and we'll go back to our topic for the week, which is backtesting. Anybody got anything that they're looking at that's upcoming for this week?
Hey, Leon, I have GG, bro.
Mark, my man, you got that as Mark, you know. Mark, that's not Mark. I recognize that voice.
Philip.
Show us. Maurice, can you stay, or are you whining and dining? I can't. You're on mute.
Yeah, I got a duck, man, because you know I just looked over to my young lady and she's looking finer than me right now.
You're on the James Bond flex tonight, man. Go and do your thing, bro. Go and wine and dine. Go and wine and dine, lady. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Hopefully your night ends like our James Bond night usually ends, bro. I'm wishing you all the best, bro. Yeah.
Trust me. I've done it all. I've got all my confirmations lined up, mate.
That's right. You're on the right trajectory, son. You've got your entry now. You're looking for the take profit.
That's it, my brother. That's it.
I'll see you later.
All right, guys.
Good
I'm
night.
out of here, yeah?
See you.
All right, cool.
Great. Okay, Philip, how are you, brother? You've been killing this GJ, man. You've been killing the GJ.
Bro, I have been nurturing this GG for the last 3-4 weeks. I've been on it, mate. And I think the only reason I've been doing, I remember Delroy told me a few months ago, he said, just get one pair and stick at it.
Yes.
And my confidence with this is just, it's just so, yeah, I'm just killing it with GG.
All right. So, okay, go ahead, man. Show us what you got. I've got a
So with GG, all right, so again, I looked at the 4 hours. So what we recognized, we had an impulse ride up to, so all right, let me go back. So last week I got in at this point here, because how I trade, I use I look at zones, so I look at supply and demand zones. So where I looked at, I know that it was going to come back to this candle here. So what I call this is my indecision candle. So I knew it was going to come back here, and that's exactly what it did. It came right back here, and then it went up. So I rode this from here up to this other zone, and I got out because I got out at that point. So I got to my first TP. Then after I knew it was going to go up there, but I just got out of the trade at that point in time. Now this week, I'm expecting a bit of a retracement to this area here. Now, you're not seeing it on the 4 hour. I'm not seeing it on the 2 hour. But what I did, go right down on the 5 minute, and I'm seeing my indecision candle right here. So I'm expecting a bit of a retracement to here, or a bigger push down to this area here. Let me come back out, go back out to the higher time frame, to the other indecision candle around here, and then a big push back up to my TP1. I'll get it back down. Sorry. This thing is just a bit of a nightmare to manage. Yeah, so I'm expecting a push up to TP1, and then TP2 is again a bit higher. Just can't get this thing to minimize.
Yeah, drag the price. Go over to the price with your mouse. Over to the price. Hold up your mouse over the price on the right hand side. The price.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That's it.
Yeah. So I'm expecting it to hit TP1. This is my TP2. A bit of a retracement again, then going up to TP3. But that's how I have been stalking it for the last few weeks. As I said, been consistently getting in on it and just looking at GG, and it's a strong uptrend. So I know it's a push to the upside, and that's a trade I'm looking at this week.
This is brilliant. I've got a few questions for you on this, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Philip, because this has been a really, really interesting. I came out of GJ about 2 weeks ago, and I've just sat on the sidelines because it was 2 weeks ago when you took my money and fed your kids. Yeah? It was 2 weeks ago when you.
No love lost, bro. No love lost, bro.
Yeah, you took your money.
I'm banking it for you.
Yeah, you put Nando's. You put Nando's on your kids' table. I couldn't take my kids to Nando's that weekend, but I'm glad you got the half chicken with the peri-peri sauce, because my kids couldn't have it. But anyway, you've been really doing this very well. The question that I've got for you is: are you expecting a reversal? Or are you looking for a reversal at any time? We've had such a steep up.
Yeah, I'm looking for a reversal, because one thing I have been doing a lot of back testing, and one of the things I look at GG, very rarely you'll recognize GG starts off at the beginning of the week with a strong push, very bullish. So what you'll find, it starts off the week with a bit of a reversal. And like Maurice was saying last week, the Asian market doesn't have much of activity out of hours. You probably get 28 pips, 28 to 30 pip move in the Asian market. But so I'm expecting a bit of a reversal here first before a strong push to the upside. And I think one of the things I've been doing as well in the background is that the few things I used as confirmation. So I look at the commitment of traders report. So I look at that as well to see where where the longs and the shorts are in the market. I look at that, and I also look at the currency strength indicators as well as my indicators to get into the market as well. So so I am expecting a bit of a reversal.
What is the commitment of traders report saying at the moment in terms of longs and shorts for GJ?
So when I looked at it earlier on, the pound is quite strong. The yen is starting to get stronger. So the yen is starting to get stronger, but the pound is also quite strong. So the pound has been consistently strong, but the yen is really starting to get a bit more stronger for the shorts. So in a way, I am expecting a bit of a reversal because of the yen getting stronger. So I'm getting so that's where I'm expecting the reversal. But because the pound has been strong, that's where I'm seeing still going to have a push to the upside.
Really good, really good, Philip. And so you've got your you've got your take profit at what level? Take profit 3 is where?
Take profit 3 is at
146.
Yeah, 146,359. Yeah.
Okay, so Philip, this is what I'm going to ask you, bro. You've really become kind of like our resident expert on GJ. It would be great if you could post one of these trades really clearly with the next entry which you're waiting for. You can see the arrows going down. It looks like your next entry is just below the 144 mark. It'd be just below the just below 145. So only about 40 pips away for your zone. It would be really kind of you if you could just write out this next trade that you're waiting for and just post it in our Discord.
Okay.
So that we can just mark it up ourselves and take advantage of it if we choose to. Yeah, I mean you've run this all the way, so it'd be great if you could help out by doing that. Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. One last question for you before you close this chart. Right on the very left there, you see a large push to the upside with high volume and creating imbalance. Right up, not even further left, all the way on the left hand chart, and keep on going and keep on going. There you go. All right, so have you got any plans for this? I've marked this as a potential.
So that's why I didn't get in. I was going to take a run. I thought it was going to come back here around take 50% of this before it goes up, but it didn't do that. And what I did, I looked at the chart, the history on the yen. So sometimes it doesn't always do that. It doesn't always come back to the 50% of the large push up impulse to the upside. So I just have to respect what it has done and just go with where it's at
and see what happens when it comes back.
Exactly.
Okay. Right. So Philip, if you don't mind, while I've got you, I know you were going to be on either last week or the week. I think it was the week before with a GJ trade. We also had a question that came in last week on the chat. I think it was from Anthony about how to structure trading around a working day. I think this is really important. How to structure trading around a working day. As somebody who works full time, Philip, can you tell us how you are? How you're breaking up your time to mark your charts, analyze your trades? When do you execute? Are you fortunate enough to have your laptop at your desk that you can do it while you're working? Is this something that you do before the day, lunchtime, after work? What's your schedule?
So fortunately, I'm an early bird, so I will I get up pretty early, so I will when I'm getting to work around between 6:30 and 7, and what I will do between 7 and 7 and 8, I'll probably just have a quick look at the market, look at my chart and see, okay, fine, probably do a bit of a markup. But what I generally do is that I have my alerts. So once the candle comes into my alerts, that's when I'll probably give it a quick glance for me to then get into market, because I don't really do any buy limit and or sell limit or anything like that. I generally like to be in control. So for me, once I get my alerts, then I will just quickly look at it, have a glance at it, see if it's in properly within the zone. Then I will enter the trade on my phone.
And you can do that while you're at work. You can have a glance
Yeah.
at the charts while you're. That's okay for you all.
Yeah. As I say, it doesn't take long. My alerts come up, fine. I could easily check my phone, the alert, have a quick look at MT4 on my phone. Okay, fine, it's there, fine. And then afterwards, I recognize, I look for it, and then I say, okay, fine, it's a good time to enter, and that's when I'll enter.
And when do you do the actual markups? Are you doing them in the evening? Or you
So generally, I do most of my markups at the start of the week. So strange enough, on a Friday evening, once the market closes, I go to the market and I look at it and I start marking up what it is I expect to happen in the following week. So I wait until the end of the week, Friday evening, when I get in from work. One of the things I look forward to, fresh eyes, what the market has done, what it might do, so that come Sunday, I'm not really fretting or anything about it. I might probably just tweak it again, probably on a Sunday if I didn't see it as clean enough on a Friday evening. And so then and let the market run, and then let the market come to me where I've marked it up.
Really good, Philip. Really good. Okay. Before I move on, I just want to know if anybody else has any questions for Philip, either on this chart that he's shown, or on his kind of daily work schedule.
Hi, Leon. It's Bert here.
Hey, Bert.
Just a quick question, Philip. You mentioned the term indecision candle. It's not a term that I recognize. Could you explain a little bit more about that?
So how I did, so if you look at me here, so I recognize this was an indecision candle. So how I describe it as indecision, i.e. it's a point in the market where the big boys are making a decision whether or not they want to go higher up in the market, or whether they want to go bullish or they want to reverse the trend. So normally when I see that candle, I know, okay, fine, I mark it as an area for when I will expect the market to come back to that area and then possibly go in the next direction. So let me go back a bit where I previously marked up, and it's normally pretty good on the where was I? Sorry, there. This red line is someplace where I'd previously marked up my indecision. Let me go and zoom out. So I'm trying to find the areas where I've previously marked, because I've cleared up my mark, because I've cleared it up. So generally it's normally these type of, so I have a different candle I also use. I use 50% body candle, which sort of gives me a different look at that shows up the indecision candles to me a bit more. So it's a candle which it's a bit more, it's not green, it's not red, but it's a bit more hollow, which shows you, I'm just trying to zoom in a bit more here. Right, before the change in direction. So in a way, it shows you, okay, fine, they were thinking about going down, but the traders was what's the terminology? It was still bullish. They were trying to push the market down here, but then they recognized it was still bullish. So what they did, okay, fine. After the strong impulse, they recognized they were trying to push it back, but okay, fine, push it down. But what they did is then they said, okay, fine, no, we're still bullish. So hence, I've termed it as indecision candle. and it will come right back to this area here, then go up again. I don't think I've done a very good job explaining it, but that's my terminology. So again, once it comes to a particular zone, it will make a candle. So it came right to TP, it made a candle. So what I'm expecting, again, it's going to come back a bit, reverse, and then go up again. So once it always hits a particular area, it will always make it, and that's when they're thinking, okay, fine, is it time for reversal, or do we want it to continue going up? So that's when the market movers make a decision at that point in time. Do they want to continue going up? Do they want to continue bullish, or do they want to reverse the market?
Okay, thanks, Philip. Cheers, mate.
Brilliant, Philip. That's really, really, really useful. And I think you've done amazingly well on GJ over the last couple of weeks. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind putting that trade in our
Okay.
our Discord, that would be great. Yeah, thank you very
Thanks.
much. Okay, question from chat about and one last thing for you now, please, Philip. While you're on the line, could you just send in the link for the Commitment of Traders report, please? I'm on their site right now, but there's a lot on there, and I'm not sure which one to click on at the moment. So I wonder if you could just send us which report you're looking at from the COT report. Would be great. Yeah? Okay, all right, guys. Really good contributions today from Philip and from Maurice before. I think what we want to do right now is go into our topic for the week, which is backtesting. We've put this at the end just so Maurice could go off and do his James Bond thing. But let's do our session for the week, which is about backtesting. Now, I'm not going to do backtesting in terms of trying to identify trades right now. The purpose of talking about backtesting in this session is really to show you what it is and how you can potentially use it just in your trades. While we're on GJ, I think why don't we stick with that? Let me just add another GJ chart, and so I can keep my markups on. Okay, so I will just add another GBPUSD. Okay, let's add Oanda. Okay, so we can clean this off and reset this. So the whole thing with backtesting is really, it's the opportunity, especially for those who are fairly new to the game, to go back in time and test their strategies. That's really, really what it is about. It's about going back in time to test their strategies, either to find out what type of trader you are. By this stage, you should probably know we're institutional smart money traders, or to see if your way and method of looking at the market is going to work. Now, of course, we know that every single currency pair and every single commodity and crypto, they work slightly differently. And it's the reason why we recommend often that you spend one time or a lot of time on one particular chart, just like how Philip has got to know GJ. We don't raise on his indices because they've chosen those as the kind of the securities and the products. There's a word, the securities and products that they actually want to specialize in. So backtesting can help you understand a product very, very well. But what it can also do is help you understand your strategy very, very, very well. Now, two ways to do this. I think the slightly harder way, if you can see my screen, is just to go back in time like this and literally just to drag your candle, your chart back in time and say to yourself, what is it that you're looking for, right? Say to yourself, what is it that you're looking for? So in this backtesting example, what we're going to look for is we're going to look for every single occurrence of an engulfing candle. All right, we're going to look for every single occurrence of an engulfing candle. And all I've done, I've gone back in time just by swiping my chart backwards. I've gone back in time to 2017. All of the data is still present, but I've gone back in time. Now, what we would do is, depending on, choose your time frame. You can backtest on any single time frame that you like, but we're on the daily time frame for now. And what we're going to do in this method with all of the data on the chart is just to identify, okay, boom, here's an engulfing candle, and you should go through and mark them on your chart. There's an engulfing candle. Yes, we could call that one, but we'll leave that for now. Here's another one. All right, and this is backtesting. This is what backtesting is. Here's another one. Isn't it quite interesting that they're usually, this is almost one, but we'll leave that alone, that they're usually happening at the top and the bottom of trends. Okay, so here's another one. And this is backtesting. Can you train your eyes to see what you need to see? Can you train your eyes to see what you need to see? Here's another. All right, so this is the process of backtesting with everything, when you have all of the information still on your chart. Can you see what you're meant to see? Now, of course, this will eventually kind of extrapolate into finding trades and finding if your trade ideas are right, but we're starting simple. The next thing that you might like to do, let me take all of these off. The next thing that you might like to do, and I think this is the better way to backtest, is actually to use this tool here, which is called the bar replay tool. Now, if you click on this, what it allows you to do is to remove the data from the chart, to literally remove the data from the chart, so that we can go back to 2017 as though we were in 2017. Now, let me just say here, this feature, at least when I subscribed to TradingView, was behind a payment wall. So it was behind the initial payment wall of TradingView, the pro level version. And I think that cost something like, it's no more than, it's £10 a month or $10, $12 a month or something similar to that. It's not expensive. So for me, I always say that this bar replay tool is worth the price, the cost of the subscription just for this tool alone. I love to use it because it allows me to look at the market as though I was back in 2017. So what are we going to do in this instance? We would then use this replay tool from here, and you can change the speed of the replay. All right, for now, we're going to keep it on the fastest possible speed. And then it allows you to play as though you were live market. So here is the first engulfing candle. We're going to start from there. And then you've got to try and spot them as they happen. Let's do it a little bit slower. Then you've got to try and spot them as they happen. Let's see if we can find another one. It's too fast, sorry. There's no difference between that and that. Okay, let's see if we can find another engulfing. There's one down here at the bottom. There's another one at the top. This is obviously much faster than the market would go, but of course I'm trying to find something. I'm trying to find one which is not too fast and not too slow. The point with using this bar replay tool is that you can actually play the market out as though it were live. Okay, let's go down onto the smallest. Test your strategy with intraday. Yeah, let's go down onto the smaller time frames. Now we are still, if I am correct, let's go back. See, we can still go back into, sorry guys, let me do this properly, excuse me. Oh, 2012, we don't want to go that far back, okay? So we can now go back, let's see if we can go back into 2017. And now, no matter what time frame you go on, as long as they have data for that time frame, the smaller time frames you go, sometimes they run out of data. So they should have data on the one out. Okay, they don't have data on that. Test your strategies with intraday replay tool. Okay, so I need to double check something here. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm usually able to do that. Or maybe I didn't pay for it this month. I don't know. I need to double check. But you can really go back and watch the chart as though you were there right now on any particular time frame. All right, let me just try that one more time. I think I did that. Okay, so for whatever reason, I think maybe my subscription, that's a bad time for the subscription to lapse right now. Let me see how long it takes to upgrade that now. Right, so there you go. At least you know the price. 1 second. I'm going to actually do the other one, because I need the seconds chart. Guys, you're going to have to forgive me. I'm very, very sorry. I didn't actually realize that my subscription to the pro level had actually lapsed. Very, very bad timing. But I'm sure I was able just to take the data away a second ago. So I don't know why all of a sudden it's not allowing me to do that. But essentially on backtesting, you can remove the data from the chart and you can go back and check your strategies and check if the things that you are looking for are actually working out in the marketplace. Are you looking for engulfing candles? Are you looking for a trade that reverses at the imbalance? Are you looking for liquidity grabs? Whatever it is you're looking for, you can use this bar replay tool and get to the position where you can test it happening it as though you were back in time. Now, I've got 5 tips here I actually wrote this down. Can you believe it? I prepared for today's lesson and didn't prepare well enough to know that my subscription had lapsed. I need to upgrade it. So I'll do that immediately after this call. I've got the 5 tips today for back testing that you can use in your back testing. Yes, my brother.
Do you want to use my chat? My one is working.
Yeah, we can do. I mean, I think we got to the main points of it. But yes, if we need to, then I'll come back to you, Joe. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
All right, cool.
So what I'll say for now, reset. What I'll say for now is the 5 tips that I had written down for back testing, and there may be more. These was just the 5 that I was able to think about right before coming on the call. Number 1, create a watch list. Create a watch list specifically for back testing. All right, create a watch list specifically for back testing. On your watch list, I recommend you add 2 commodities like gold and oil, 2 FX, 2 indices, and 2 cryptos. You'll have 8 things in total that you can actually backtest. You can have gold and oil, you can have euro dollar and cable, or dollar yen and dollar CAD, whatever you want to do. You can have the US 30 and the SPX or DE and whatever it might be. And then you can have, choose Bitcoin and Ethereum, whatever it is, and just start your back testing. All right. Then I would say, take one product at a time. Go back 1 year. Go back 1 year in time. Okay, go back in 1 year in time. Decide what you're looking for. Okay, and this could be, as I said, engulfing candles. It was just a simple one. Engulfing candles. Engulfing. This could be liquidity grabs. It could be imbalance. It could be, if you know what mitigation is, mitigation trades. Right, you can go and decide what it is that you're looking for. Go back 1 year in time and take one time frame. Right, go back 1 year in time, one time frame. Let me add that here. Okay. And once you've found what you're looking for example, engulfing candles, all right, and you've gone back 1 year in time and done all of that, then what I would say, number 5, is start to add your confluences. Okay. Now, one of the ways that we might trade is that we might want to get in at a mitigation candle, for example. And we know that what we're looking for at that entry, just above that candle, we're looking for an area of imbalance. So now you're going to complete your 1 year back test just looking for, let's say, just looking for engulfing candles. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go back and do the exact same thing. And you're going to look only for the engulfing candles that have imbalance above or below it, depending on whether you're going to buy and whether you're going to sell. Okay, and then you can go and add another confluence. Only do that if you've got a if that is happening at Fibonacci level between 76 and 88% of the range that you're looking at. All right, and so slowly you start to build your confluences in your back testing. Now, why this is really important is because this stops you from testing on live markets. It stops you from practicing. It removes the practice on live markets. It's really, really important that you're able to practice this on a demo account over and over and over again, because a demo account is free. A demo account's not going to cost you anything. And what we really want is that you move into your live account with confidence that you've done this drill over and over and over and over and over and over again. It was a quote which I was looking at. I've got it on my screen actually. There was a quote that I was looking at which says, mixed martial artist or a fighter was saying, he doesn't fear the man that has 1,000 different kicks. The man he fears is the one who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. All right, and I really recommend that we make practice a part of what we do, because it's in that we're going to become really, really good traders. So I think, you know, again, I'm really a little bit disappointed that I didn't have the have the tool, but I think it's still, even without having to go back into it, the concept of backtesting is really simplified here. If you don't have the paid version, then simply just scroll back like this, simply just scroll back, and then start to find your areas that you are looking for. Start to find your areas that you're looking for. But in order to really maximize backtesting, you're going to have to be in a position where you take this bar replay tool so that you can go back in time and find areas like this. Look, and find areas like this where you can see imbalance, right? You can see the imbalance here. And the question is, well, how do you trade that in the future? Is there a trade there for you in the future, or is it just not something you want to do? So if your funds allow, I would definitely recommend that you upgrade your trading view to the pro version, and that will enable you to go and do the full back testing. Has anybody else got any comments that they might like to add to this back testing concept? I don't know if anybody's there with a comment that they'd like to add, or any questions even. Anyone?
Hi, Leon.
Hey, Ojatule.
Good evening. I got two questions. One is a question I've asked before, but still stirred up by the presentation you just did. It's so wonderful. A couple of times I've been practicing looking in charts and kind of back testing to see how the trading strategy we use here plays out. I noticed just back there where you showed the imbalance, the last imbalance you showed as an example of a place, I think it's still at the back.
Is this one?
Still, yeah, if you could still scroll somewhere there, exactly, yeah. If I'm correct, I think a price kind of got to 50% of that imbalance and went in the expected direction.
Exactly.
But my concern has always been still under the imbalance, there's liquidity.
Under the imbalance, you mean here?
Yes.
I think that
correct.
Go ahead, finish your question.
Okay, so what would be the expectation of a trader either to fill the imbalance or come grab liquidity or clear up the bottom before going up, something like that? Although I don't know. I just left that hanging to see an opportunity of asking, and I think it's the right one. And secondly, I don't know if I should put everything up together, then you hit it all up at once. You
don't know if you should do what? Sorry, please, brother, say that last bit again.
Yeah, I have a second question. That is one. I don't know if it's if you are okay if I ask the second one, then you just like clear it up at once.
Yes, please.
Ask both. Thank you.
Clear. Yes.
Okay. So the second question is this. I've been on a demo all this while and kind of tried some little trade on live account, though I didn't want to step into the depth of the ocean, knowing that I'm still very, very, I'm upcoming. I noticed on demo, there was no emotions, like the psychological part of the whole thing. I knew that was in my money. I was just taking trades and like everything was like fun. But even though the live account I switched to was a very tiny account, I noticed that is where I discovered the psychological aspect of trading, which I realize is also a huge part of it. I didn't actually know what this issue of fear, greed, or whatever was all about until that time. So, what advice do you have in that direction for young traders, if I may say?
Okay. The second part of your question is actually a little bit easier for me. Is a little bit easier for me to answer, so I'll come back to that one. The first part of your question is, for me, on this trade here, I don't really. Yes, there is liquidity here on this trade here, but it's really it's not a lot. For me, liquidity is when I see two big points of equal lows. So I would class this to be a liquidity area, right? That's where there are enough stop losses sitting underneath the equal lows to say, okay, this is really strong liquidity. So in my back testing, if I was playing this out, I would mark this as an area of liquidity, and then I would see how does the market respond to it. Now, we don't have that answer now because this is live and it hasn't been taken yet. But if I was back tested and I saw equal lows, remember, equal lows could be one of the things that you're actually looking for. You could be over here and over here, you could add in, decide what you're looking for. Well, maybe you're looking for equal lows because underneath the equal lows or highs is liquidity. All right. So yes, the imbalance is one thing. Usually it will come into about 50% of the imbalance. But in this example, it wasn't quite 50%. I'd have to take it away and measure it. Actually, probably was actually. Let me just see if we do that imbalance there. Probably was exactly. If we do this to here, let's take a look. And then you've got your answer from this one to that one there. And we'll see where if we drag that over. There you go. Bang on 50%. So this is where you start to say, okay, this is nice. GJ took 50% of the imbalance. It took 50% of the imbalance. Where else did it happen? And then you go again and you find some more imbalance, either in the past, and you say, okay, well, where else did it take 50% of the imbalance? Here, it looked like it took more. It took more. Let's have a quick look. Here, it looks like it took a little bit more. And the best way to do this is with the replay tool, right? So here, it took a little bit more, but just a little bit more, 61.8. And so the idea of this is just to go through practice, and get to know the currency pair that you are trading. All right. So liquidity, two answers for you. Get to know the currency pair that you are trading. And liquidity is really the area where you've seen two equal lows, right? Where you've seen equal lows. Look, or equal highs. You can see another one here that gets taken. This one, that's a little bit higher. And then over here, what happens over here? Bang, we get a one that goes just a little bit higher into the liquidity area and goes the other way. All right. So be really sure about what you're classifying as liquidity. It's better if it's equal highs. That's true liquidity. And just be comfortable to keep back testing and say, well, it does this pair usually take 50% of the imbalance? Then you can know what that currency pair is actually doing. I hope that answers the first part of your question. Did it help you?
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Thanks. The second part of your question is really good. And if the first part's not fully answered, Ojatule, we can do that. We can do that offline. Second part of your question is really good. And the key for me is to plug your demo account into a stat capture tool. The best tool that's going to capture your statistics is my FX book. I think I use my FX book, and I'm going to be using it more and more. Plug your demo account into a statistics tool and measure yourself by the stats, right? And say these statistics, these exact same statistics that represent themselves in my demo account practice on this stat measurement tool is the exact same statistics I'm going to have when I go live if I'm thinking correctly. And for me, when I did it and when I practice like that, I really want to get the best possible stats. And if I can get the best possible stats on my demo, I know I can do the same thing on my practice. So I think the best thing to do psychologically was plug your thing into my FX book and monitor your stats on a daily and a weekly basis and aim for the best possible statistics. I don't know if that helps. That's one suggestion. I'm happy if anybody else wants to put another suggestion in terms of psychology. Anything else? Any other suggestions on that?
I have one.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, which I've been following recently. There's a guy called Mark Douglas.
Yes.
He was a trading psychologist. He's passed on. He's passed away.
Oh, is he dead now?
He's dead. Yeah, he died. Yeah, a few years ago, I think. Yeah. Yes, he was a trading psychologist. So I think he started his journey in towards the beginning of 80s there, towards the end of 70s, and he's a remarkable trading psychologist. There is quite a bit of material on YouTube. He's done a few recordings on there, which I've been watching. How to think like a professional trader. He's got a book as well. I'm looking to buy that book and actually read it from watching his videos on YouTube. I could send you. I'll put down a link.
Could you give me his full name, sir?
I'll put down a link down here on the chat, and you should be able to see his video.
It's great.
He's done a part one. I think 1 hour.
He did 2 books. The first book that he did was called Trading in the Zone. Trading in the Zone. And the second book that he did is the Disciplined Trader. Was the second.
Oh.
So there is that. I've been watching something he's done. He did a few years ago. It's like a few videos, 4-part video series. How to think like a professional trader. It's a 4-part. I'm just gonna put it on there.
Thank you.
If you click that one.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's really insightful information on there. So that's part 3. That's part 4.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's really good value. Let's put this on the. Hey, you know what, Joe? You can put it on the Discord.
Cool. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll find the other ones and I'll put them on there.
So let me just find the right channel. Useful resources or useful web links like that. There'll be a kind of a channel for you to put them on there, Joe. All right. Really useful. Ojotule, did that help?
A lot.
The tool that you need to plug your demo account to, I can help you with this, is myfxbook.com.
Yes, I think I tried to do something with it when I noticed that emotional upsurge, like the interplay of reasoning with emotion, like you being caught in middle and you're trying to belong to the right place, stuff like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really worthwhile. Looking at all of these videos from Mark Douglas, excellent trading psychologist, and also plug in your demo account into that MyFX book so you can get the stats and live by the stats. So I think those are 2 really good suggestions.
Thank you.
Cool. Family, it's already gone 9 o'clock. That session flew by. Again, apologies for not realizing I'm gonna have to do this first thing in the morning. I use that replay tool every single day without fail. So I was using it on Friday. It's just a surprise that it's not working today. So my thing must have run out over the weekend and I will upgrade it tonight. So apologies for that, but I hope you still got the concept of backtesting, going back in time and pretending as though you were there live now and seeing if your strategies work. Are you adding RSIs? Are you entering at the right place on the engulfing candles on the mitigation? Are you seeing the liquidity grabs? And once you train your eyes to see it, it'll be very easy for you to recognize in real life. So I hope that's useful. We had Maurice, who gave us his euro-dollar trade. We had Philip, who gave us his sterling yen trade. So hopefully we'll see that sterling yen trade on the Discord. If you don't have Discord, let me know on the WhatsApp chat and I'll give you a link so you can join, all right? Any further questions or are we done for the night? I think we're done. Guys, have a fantastic trading week. Have a successful week. I hope you all make money and we'll see you again next week, Sunday, okay? Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you guys.